Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Women, y'all have no idea the kind of things us men be noticing about you. And I ain't talking about the obvious stuff, all right? I ain't talking about the curves or the dress or the high heels. We see that, sure. But that's surface level. I'm talking about the real stuff, the subtle things, the things you think don't even matter. A lot of women walk around thinking men are only focused on what's on the surface, that it's all about the makeup, the curves, the outfit. But let me tell you something real. Men notice way more than women think. And I'm not talking about just what's flashy or loud. I'm talking about the small things, the stuff that flies under the radar, the details that women think don't matter. That little freckle on your cheek you try to cover up, he's seen it and he thinks it's cute. That old hoodie you throw on when you're comfortable around him, he notices that too. And he associates it with you being real, with you being you. Not the Instagram version of you, but the natural, unfiltered, relaxed version. That's the woman who sticks in his mind. Men are visual, sure. That's no secret. But real men, grown men, men with substance, they also tuned into things women don't realize. The way you tilt your head when you're really listening, the way you hum when you're cleaning up, the way you wrinkle your nose when you're confused, or how you bite your lip when you're thinking hard about something. Those are the things that stay with him. That's what makes you different from everybody else. A woman could walk into a room in sweatpants and a messy bun, no makeup on, and still turn a man's world upside down if her energy is right. And when he's already invested emotionally, every little habit, every quirk, every detail becomes something he cherishes. Even if you think it's silly, you might be worried about that scar on your leg or the way your voice cracks when you get excited. But let me tell you something. He's already seen it and he thinks it's beautiful because it's part of you. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to perform. Men notice the version of you that shows up when you're not trying to impress anybody. They notice your smile, not just the big ones you pose for in pictures, but the soft one that comes out when you're genuinely happy, the one that hits your eyes too. They notice when you're thinking about something and you go quiet. They notice how you treat people when nobody's watching. They catch the way you touch your hair when you're nervous or how you tuck your leg under you when you're sitting on the couch, and they file it all away. Maybe they don't always say it. Maybe they don't always express it the way you want to hear it, but they see it, every bit of it. Sometimes women feel like they have to put on a show, like they got to present the most polished version of themselves at all times. But what you don't realize is that your smallest, most natural habits are what make you unforgettable. The man who really sees you, he's paying attention to the things you don't even know you're doing. He remembers how you looked when you were half asleep, hair all over the place, hoodie too big for your frame. He notices when your laugh is real versus when it's polite. And let me tell you, he lives for those little moments, those glimpses of the real you, because that's what creates connection. That's what sets you apart. Men might not always say it in the exact way you want to hear it, but don't ever believe for a second that they're not noticing, because they are. Every detail, every little piece, the real you, that's the magic. Men notice a lot more than what meets the eye, and honestly, it goes way beyond physical appearance. Sure, a woman can be gorgeous, but there's something about her energy, her vibe, and the way she carries herself that really speaks to a man. You see, men aren't always looking for perfection. They're looking for authenticity. When a woman walks into a room with confidence, with a genuine presence that radiates without trying too hard, that's what gets noticed. It's not about how flawless she looks, it's about how she makes everyone feel around her. A woman with a warm, inviting energy is magnetic. And it's that type of energy that gets a man's attention more than any outward perfection ever could. When you're comfortable in your own skin, not trying to impress anyone, and just being your true self, that's when men can't help but notice. They'll pay attention to how you interact with others, how you carry yourself, and the positive energy you bring to a space. There's no amount of makeup or clothes that can fake that kind of authentic vibe. Men recognize it and they value it deeply. The way you make others feel, especially the way you make him feel, is what truly stands out. When a woman exudes self-assurance, when she's got that kind of quiet strength about her, it's undeniable. It's what makes her feel approachable, but also untouchable in the most empowering way. And when a man senses that genuine confidence, he's not just drawn to it, he's inspired by it. Because confidence isn't just the way you look. It's the energy you give off. It's the attitude you bring into every room. When you walk with your head held high, shoulders back, and a smile that's natural, not forced, there's a certain level of power that commands respect. And men notice that instantly. It's easy to think that in order to capture someone's attention, you need to look a certain way or wear a certain outfit. But what really gets attention is the confidence you wear every single day. Confidence speaks louder than any outfit. And men, we notice when you're genuinely confident, not when you're trying to fake it. There's something undeniably attractive about a woman who owns her space, who doesn't apologize for being who she is, who stands tall without shrinking, the confidence to say, "This is me," without needing anyone's validation. That's powerful. When a woman knows her worth, doesn't settle for anything less than what she deserves, and doesn't try to conform to anyone's expectations, it's a game changer. Men notice that type of strength. It shows up in the way she walks, talks, and interacts with the world. But here's the thing, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's not about pretending to have it all together. In fact, sometimes it's about showing your vulnerability. Confidence is about being comfortable in your own skin, flaws and all. It's when you embrace those imperfections, those quirks, those little things that make you unique and wear them proudly. Men are more drawn to authenticity than to any fake persona you can put on. So when you're comfortable enough to be real, to laugh at yourself, to admit that you're not perfect, that's the confidence that stands out. It's magnetic, it's what we notice, and it's what we're drawn to. And let's not forget the difference between confidence and arrogance. There's a huge gap between the two. Confidence comes from a place of inner security, self-respect, and kindness. Arrogance, on the other hand, often comes from insecurity and the need to prove something to others. When a woman is truly confident, there's no need to boast or put others down. It's the quiet strength of knowing who you are. And that's what leaves a lasting impression. When a woman shows up with that kind of energy and confidence, it doesn't matter if she's in a suit or dress or her pajamas. It's the way she carries herself that's unforgettable. A woman who is confident doesn't need external validation, and that's exactly what men notice. When you're able to just be you unapologetically and without hesitation, that's what sticks with us. Confidence, energy, and attitude. They're the secret ingredients that turn heads and capture hearts. So remember, it's not always about how you look, it's about how you make others feel, and that's the kind of power that leaves a mark. There's something incredibly magnetic about a woman who laughs genuinely, who is so comfortable in her own skin that her joy becomes infectious. Men notice it. We all notice it. That real laugh, the kind that bursts out without thinking, the one that makes her eyes light up, the kind of laugh that doesn't feel forced, like she's trying to impress. There's nothing more attractive than a woman who can laugh freely, who can let go of the pressures to appear perfect and just enjoy herself in the moment. When a woman's laugh is natural and uninhibited, it doesn't matter what she's wearing or how she looks, because her authenticity is what shines through. And men, we find that beautiful. We love a woman who isn't afraid to let down her guard, who can laugh with abandon, even when things aren't perfect. It's not just the laughter, though, it's the whole package. A woman who's comfortable enough with herself to be authentic, to be real, is captivating in a way that no amount of makeup or perfect styling can replicate. When a woman is genuine, when she's not trying to keep up appearances or impress everyone around her, that's when her true beauty shines. It's the kind of energy that draws people in, that invites them to relax, to be themselves too. A woman who doesn't need to put on a facade, who can show her true self, imperfections and all, is one of the most refreshing things a man can encounter. And let's face it, there's no better feeling than knowing the person you're with is exactly who they say they are. There's an honesty in that, and it's something men absolutely value. Men notice when a woman is kind, not just on the surface, but in her actions, in the way she treats others. The world can be tough, and kindness is like a breath of fresh air. When a woman is genuinely kind, whether it's to a stranger, a friend, or even someone she's just met, it shows depth of character. It's something we can't ignore. Kindness doesn't just make a person feel good, it makes them feel seen. It shows that she values humanity, that she's grounded, and that she cares about the little things. And you know what? That is sexier than any outfit you could wear. Kindness is the kind of sexiness that goes beyond the physical. It's the kind of sexiness that leaves a lasting impression. A woman who is kind isn't just a pretty face in the crowd. She's the woman who will stand out and stay in a man's mind long after the conversation ends. It's a kind of beauty that grows over time because kindness shows up in everything she does. It's in her words, her actions, and the way she lifts up those around her. And you might think that kindness is soft, but let me tell you, it's strong. A woman who knows how to treat people with kindness is not weak, she's confident. She knows that treating others with respect and compassion is a strength, not a vulnerability. Men notice that strength, that quiet power that comes with being emotionally generous. And it's that kind of power that makes a woman stand out in a world that often values appearances over substance. What makes all of this even more powerful is when a woman doesn't try too hard, when she doesn't feel the need to chase attention or validation. There's a beauty in simplicity and not forcing things. Men notice when a woman shines simply by being herself, not by trying to be someone she's not. It's in the way she walks into a room and commands attention without saying a word. It's in how she carries herself, not by putting on a performance, but by just being true to who she is. There's an effortless elegance to that kind of woman, and it's magnetic. She doesn't need to dress to impress or put on a mask. She knows that she doesn't need to try hard for anyone to see her worth. She's already shining on her own. And that confidence doesn't go unnoticed. A woman who doesn't try too hard is one who has figured out that her value doesn't come from her clothes, her makeup, or the number of likes she gets on social media. Her value comes from who she is at her core. She knows that if someone is truly meant to be in her life, they'll see her for her authenticity, her heart and her soul, not her attempts to fit into someone else's mold. That's the woman who catches a man's eye, who leaves him thinking about her long after the interaction is over. It's the natural, effortless beauty that shines brightest without effort or pretense. When a woman allows herself to simply be, when she embraces the truth of who she is and doesn't force things, that's when she really stands out. It's the subtlety of being comfortable in your own skin that speaks volumes. And it's this authenticity that draws people in, making a woman unforgettable. There's a lot more going on in a man's mind than you might think. Women often assume that we're just looking at the surface, focusing on what's immediately visible, the clothes, the hair, the makeup. But in reality, men notice way more than that. We notice the subtle shifts in your expressions, the tiny details that you might not even realize you're showing. You could be standing in front of us, and we might not even be looking directly at you, but we notice the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you're passionate about, or the way your lips curl into a smile when you're happy. It's those little things that speak volumes, because they reveal a lot about who you are on the inside. Take the way you carry yourself, for example. The little ways you move, how you stand, how you walk, it all says something. The confidence in your posture, the way you cross your legs or tilt your head, the way your hands move when you're talking, all of these things make a lasting impression. You might not be aware of it, but those seemingly insignificant actions often leave a bigger mark than anything you could say. Men notice when you feel at ease, when you're comfortable in your own skin, and when you're not trying to put on a facade. These are the things that create a connection, something deeper than just physical attraction. The most captivating women don't even realize that their effortless confidence and authenticity are the reasons they're standing out. A lot of the time, women think they have to impress men with their looks, their clothes, or their makeup. And while men do notice these things, it's not what truly keeps us interested. What we notice is how you make us feel when we're around you, how you laugh genuinely without worrying about how it sounds, how you treat others, especially when you think no one is looking. We see the kindness in your eyes, the way you smile at someone who might be invisible to others, the way you make a simple moment feel special. There's an undeniable beauty in that, and it draws us in. The way you make the world feel warmer with just your presence, that's what we remember. But it's not just the kindness or the laughter, it's the fact that you're so unapologetically yourself. There's something incredibly attractive about a woman who doesn't feel the need to fit into someone else's idea of what she should be. Men notice when you're authentic, when you don't wear a mask or try to be someone you're not. And here's the thing, when you're truly yourself, that's when you shine the brightest. You don't have to try so hard, because the real you is more than enough. It's the way you speak without hesitation, the way your confidence doesn't scream for attention but quietly demands it. There's a raw honesty in that, and men notice it in ways they might not always express. Another thing that men pay attention to, whether we acknowledge it or not, is the way you handle situations. How do you react when things don't go as planned? How do you treat people when you're frustrated or tired? It's in those moments of vulnerability that your true nature shines through, and that's what sticks with us. The woman who remains calm in a stressful situation, who doesn't lose her composure, is the one who leaves a lasting impression. Men notice when you're graceful under pressure, when you don't need to shout or prove a point. It's that quiet strength, that sense of self-assurance that is incredibly powerful. It's in how you navigate challenges with integrity, in how you deal with setbacks with resilience, that we find you even more attractive. Men also notice when you're not trying to get validation or attention from others. The woman who's comfortable enough to show up as herself without seeking anyone's approval is magnetic. It's not about dressing to impress or speaking to get attention. It's about simply being. When you stop trying so hard, when you stop performing, that's when your true beauty becomes evident. The woman who is relaxed in her own skin, who doesn't need the world to know she's amazing because she already knows it, is the one who will stand out. She doesn't chase perfection or validation. She's already at peace with who she is. And men notice that. It's the kind of beauty that doesn't fade or change. It's steady, it's enduring, and it's something you can't fake. That's the kind of woman who stays on our minds long after we've met her. Men aren't as focused on the flashy exterior or the perfect pose. We're paying attention to the small things, to the moments when you're simply being yourself. And that's what makes you unforgettable. The subtle things, the way you laugh, the way you treat others, the confidence that radiates from within. Those are the things that keep us coming back, wanting to know more, wanting to be around you more. We notice the little things, the moments you don't even think twice about. And those are the moments that matter most. There's a common misconception that in order to be attractive, you have to look a certain way, dress in the latest trends, or wear expensive brands. While it's true that men notice the way a woman presents herself, there's something that goes much deeper than any outfit or piece of clothing. It's the way a woman treats others, especially those who can't offer her anything in return. Kindness is one of those things that can't be faked, and it's one of the most powerful things a man can notice. It's the subtle, often quiet gestures. A smile to a stranger, a genuine compliment, a moment of empathy. And it's these things that actually make a woman more beautiful, more magnetic, more unforgettable than any dress she could wear. When a woman shows kindness, it's not just about being polite. It's about the intention behind the actions. Men notice the woman who is compassionate, who sees the humanity in others, who treats people with respect, no matter their status or background. That kind of beauty is something that radiates from the inside out. It's the kind of beauty that leaves a lasting impression. While some may look at a woman's outfit or makeup first, real men are drawn to her heart. They notice how she engages with people, how she treats service workers, how she connects with the people around her. The kindness she shows, even in small ways, is what really speaks to a man's heart. It's true that kindness speaks louder than any outfit. A woman who is genuinely kind is the kind of woman who makes everyone around her feel seen, respected, and valued. And that kindness, that's what makes her stand out. Men take notice of women who go out of their way to make someone feel better, who give without expecting anything in return. That's the kind of woman who doesn't need to say much to leave a lasting impact. It's the quiet strength of her character that draws people in. A woman who radiates kindness does so much more than just look good. She makes the world around her a little better. And men are attracted to that, to the kind of woman who understands that beauty isn't just skin deep. The best part is that kindness doesn't need to be loud or overt. It's in the simple things. A smile to a stranger on the street, a thank you to someone who helped you, the way she listens when someone speaks. These small gestures might seem insignificant, but they are powerful. They show a woman's character and they leave a lasting impression on anyone who witnesses them. Men notice when a woman is kind, not because it's something she's trying to show off, but because it's an intrinsic part of who she is. It's effortless, natural, and real. There's also something incredibly strong about a woman who is secure enough to be kind without expecting anything in return. Kindness doesn't come from a place of needing validation or recognition. It comes from a place of self-assurance. A woman who is truly confident in herself knows that she doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. She doesn't need to perform or try too hard to get attention. Her kindness is a reflection of the strength she carries within, not something she does to earn praise. And men notice this strength. It's powerful, it's magnetic. Kindness is more than just a personality trait, it's an energy. It's the energy a woman brings into a room when she genuinely cares about the people around her. She doesn't need to be the loudest person in the room to be noticed. Her kindness stands out like a beacon. The way she interacts with others shows a depth of character and authenticity that can't be faked. And for men who value substance over superficiality, this is what really matters. The woman who is kind to everyone around her, from her friends to the people she barely knows, is the woman who leaves a lasting mark. She becomes unforgettable not because she's trying to be, but because her actions speak louder than anything else. Kindness is timeless, and it doesn't fade with trends or seasons. It doesn't go out of style. While trends may come and go, a woman's heart, her kindness will remain the most attractive thing about her. Men know this. They know that the most beautiful women are the ones who have a genuine spirit, who treat others with respect and empathy. And when they see that, when they feel that kindness, it's something they can't ignore. It stays with them long after the moment has passed, and it becomes something they look for in a partner, because at the end of the day, kindness is the kind of beauty that's not just seen, it's felt. And that's what makes it truly unforgettable. When it comes to attraction, there's something incredibly powerful about a woman who doesn't try too hard. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that in order to stand out, you have to be the loudest, the most extravagant, or the most attention-grabbing. But in reality, some of the most captivating women are the ones who don't need to try so hard to impress anyone. Men notice when a woman doesn't feel the need to constantly chase attention. When a woman is confident enough to simply be herself without worrying about what anyone thinks or whether she's meeting anyone's expectations, that's when she truly shines. There's an effortless quality to this type of confidence that's impossible to ignore. It's the kind of confidence that comes from within, the kind that doesn't rely on validation from others. A woman who doesn't need to prove anything, who doesn't wear a mask or put on an act to be loved, is incredibly alluring. She doesn't need the latest fashion trends or a perfect Instagram feed to feel validated. Instead, she knows that her worth doesn't come from external sources. It comes from her own sense of self. And that's what makes her truly stand out. Men notice it when a woman is just naturally herself, when she doesn't force anything. Her beauty isn't in trying to impress, it's in the quiet, steady confidence that emanates from her. There's also something incredibly attractive about a woman who can simply be at peace with herself. When a woman isn't consumed with the pressure to meet unrealistic standards of beauty or perfection, she radiates a type of tranquility and self-assurance that is magnetic. It's easy to get swept up in trying to look a certain way, to match the images you see in magazines or on social media. But the women who truly make an impression are the ones who don't care about conforming to those ideals. They know that true beauty is not about perfection. It's about being genuine, being comfortable in your own skin, and embracing your uniqueness. Men notice this confidence because it feels refreshing. It feels real. This isn't to say that a woman shouldn't care about how she looks or take pride in her appearance. It's just that when a woman focuses on herself from a place of self-love rather than external validation, there's a certain energy she brings that can't be replicated. She's not trying to prove anything. She's simply being herself, unapologetically. And that's what gets noticed. Men are drawn to this kind of natural authenticity because it's rare. In a world where so many people are constantly striving to impress or fit in, a woman who walks into a room and owns who she is without hesitation is incredibly attractive. She doesn't need to make a grand entrance or speak loudly to be seen. Her presence is felt in the way she carries herself, in the way she interacts with the world. Men also notice when a woman doesn't try too hard in the way she interacts with others. It's easy to get caught up in impressing people or trying to make the best possible impression, but the most captivating women are the ones who don't have to force it. They don't need to be the center of attention or try to be the life of the party. Instead, they exude a quiet confidence that draws others in naturally. The woman who isn't trying to steal the spotlight or make everything about her is often the one who leaves a lasting impression. Men appreciate the woman who can sit back, observe, and listen, who doesn't feel the need to talk over everyone else to be heard. It's in these quiet moments that a woman's true strength shines. Men notice when a woman doesn't need to be the loudest in the room to be valued. Instead, she adds to the conversation with thoughtfulness and consideration, letting her words have more weight because she speaks with purpose. And here's the beauty of it. When a woman doesn't try too hard to impress, she actually becomes more magnetic. Men are drawn to her not because she's trying to be perfect or fit into a mold, but because she's comfortable in her own skin. There's a natural allure in that kind of confidence. It's the kind of energy that doesn't try to dominate, but instead invites others to come closer, to engage in a way that's authentic and real. Men notice this because it's rare. In a world that often values perfection and performance over authenticity, a woman who simply exists as herself without the need for validation stands out in a way that can't be ignored. It's important to note that this kind of effortless confidence isn't about being passive or not caring about anything. It's about embracing who you are, flaws and all, and showing up in the world from a place of authenticity. A woman who isn't trying to prove anything doesn't mean she's not ambitious or driven. It just means she understands that her worth isn't tied to external validation. She is who she is, and that's enough. This understanding brings with it a peace and a strength that men notice and respect. It's the confidence that comes from knowing that you don't need to perform to be valued. What men notice most about this type of woman is the way she makes others feel around her. When a woman isn't trying to be someone else, when she isn't putting on an act, people feel comfortable around her. There's a sense of ease that comes with being in her presence, a sense that you don't have to pretend to be anything you're not. That's one of the most attractive qualities a person can have. When a woman is relaxed, genuine, and doesn't feel the need to impress, it makes others feel seen, heard, and appreciated. Men notice this because it creates an energy that's refreshing and inviting. It's an energy that doesn't require any effort, just pure, unadulterated authenticity. This kind of energy is incredibly attractive because it's rooted in self-assurance. It's the energy of someone who knows that they don't have to prove their worth to anyone. And this is the kind of energy that gets noticed the most because it's rare, it's real, and it's powerful. It's a quiet confidence that speaks volumes without saying a word. Men appreciate the woman who doesn't try too hard because at the end of the day, we're all looking for something real, something authentic. And when a woman doesn't try to fit into a mold, she becomes exactly that.